So he reviews everything, he sees what's going on, and then he says, Mr. President, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. All right, these are the policy responses. This is how we respond, Mr. President. Mr. President then nods his head and says, all right, great stuff, Dr. Salami. He's also supposed to develop and recommend to the president national economic policies to foster macroeconomic stability, promote economic growth, create jobs, and eradicate poverty, among others.
I like the last two bit.
Yeah,
create
you do.
jobs, eradicate poverty, but all in 17 months, right?
So 80 months into his presidency, 7 years into his presidency is when he makes this appointment. Also, let's not forget, Dr. Doyin Salami is the chair of the Presidential Economic Advisory Council, which came into being in 2019, which is now, this is its third year of existence. That is a star-studded group. Bismarck Rewani is on that group as well. He runs Financial Derivatives Company Limited. There's a number of other advisors on that group. They've been in existence for 3 years now. In September of last year, Doyin Salami presented a report where he talked about Nigeria's debts revenue to debt ratio, debt sustainability ratio, right? And essentially debt service to revenue ratio, and he talked about how it was about in the almost 95%. Doyin Salami is not a quiet person. He talked about selling off government property, government assets for money. He constantly talks about economic matters, right? Now, in addition to this, Coyote, in your left hand, do you want to read what you're holding to our listeners? What's the title on page 1?
President and presidential aides.
Right. You are holding a list of the president and presidential aides. It is a 15-page document, and there are in total, what is this, about 70 people? I think. Yeah, 50. No, this is 60. This is about almost 80 people on that list, right? Now, this list of advisors, Lagos, I wish you all could be in the studio to be with us, has a number of people who have been appointed, the political appointees to the president. Here's one here. This gentleman's name is Dr. Adeyemi Dikpeolu. He's the special advisor to the president on economic matters, Office of the Vice President. You've got Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, special advisor to the president on ease of doing business, Office of the Vice President. You've got all types of advisors here. There was another technical advisor. Oh yeah, here's another one. Amina Ado, senior special assistant to the president, oil and gas policy.
Different states, or all across.
All across. These are economic advisors. Look, see. The Director General of the World Trade Organization is Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, right? She had a television interview not too long ago. She was asked what her greatest accomplishment is, and she said it was wiping off debt, the Paris Club debts. I think it was about $30 billion under the Obasanjo administration. Yeah. She was then finance minister. The Minister of Finance is an economic advisor. Okonjo-Iweala advised Obasanjo on what to do about reducing Nigeria's debt. So in today, our Zainab Ahmed,
they replicated that roles for.
Yes, Zainab Ahmed, Minister of, who is the Minister of Budget and National Planning, she is an economic advisor. Godwin Emefiele, the central bank governor, is an economic advisor. The Central Bank of Nigeria has the Monetary Policy Committee, a full slate of
economic advisors
who, Ben Akabweze is the Director General of the Budget Office. Prince Clem, is it Idia? He is the Minister of State. Meanwhile, for each minister of each portfolio, Minister of Power, Chris Ngige is the Minister of Employment and Labor.
Yes.
Festus Keyamo is the Minister of State for Employment and Labor. Each of these guys all have special advisors. So I mean,
they've replicated their roles over and over again, and there's still
nothing.
No headway.
There's nothing. There's literally nothing. Look, I mean, every single one of these people is getting salaries. Every single one of these people is getting. This is 80 plus people.
So
is getting.
The cost of running government is expensive.
It's
right?
incredible. And what do we have to show for it? How do you in your seventh year in office, you are just now appointing a chief economic advisor to do what?
To sure that the 17 months run smoothly. It's a pre-election year, you know. I'm
Man,
just
look,
joking.
see, anyway, I've said this on this show several times that Nigerians really need to take voting serious. They need to take who they appoint. Look, last week on Thursday or Friday, the Minister of Culture and Information, another advisor, Lai Mohammed, reeled out a list of 100 achievements in the federal government. Now, you got to ask yourself, so any Nigerian, in the last 7 years, what major economic improvements has your salary gone up? Are you more wealthy? Have prices of foods and goods come down? Have ticket prices for flying out of the country, have they gone down? Has anything
I can
changed?
tell about tickets. Tickets haven't gone down.
No,
They've gone up.
I just for anyone that's listening, I mean, and you need to ask this question on Freshly Pressed, and you need to ask this question of your even for is Tega coming on today for
Yes, she
sports?
is.
What? I mean, look, you got to ask yourself, Coyote, in any facet of your life as a Nigerian, has anything besides you being alive and healthy, which may not even be due to the economic, that could just be your own luck or genetics from your parents. Has anything improved at all? Anything?
So, Rhodas, let me ask you this. Now, we did a year-end review of, the economy and, things that's happened in 2021. Now we're in 2022. So people are looking to invest in things. They want to invest in sectors. Some sectors thrive irrespective of, all that's happened within the year. So if you were to, give advise, where would you advise people to focus on? I know we talk about stocks a lot. You talked about the Tesla stocks a few days
Yep,
ago.
yep, yep.
So I don't know. Where would you say invest in? I mean, how much dollars would you say we should save? And all those things. In that regard.
Okay, so there's a handful of stocks on the exchange that have done well. For example, last year, Seplat, which is an energy company listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, it's also dually listed. I believe it's also in London or Toronto. It did 60% last year, mostly due to oil prices, right? OPEC Plus just had a meeting, I think it's their 24th meeting, where they said that they're going to continue to gradually increase output by about 400,000 barrels per day. So you got to look at oil and gas companies and say, okay, these guys probably in this environment, they'll probably do well. If you look at the infrastructure plans of the nation, although if you look at the 2022 budget, capital expenditure is barely above debt service. So I think they're both at 3.4, 3.5 trillion each. So I don't know how much of that, but anyway, if you look at the roads that are going to be built, infrastructure plans, if they ever come to fruition. I mean, just yesterday or day before yesterday, Governor Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State was promising that the rail lines will be completed and people will ride those rail lines this year. You need cement, you need a lot of stuff that's going to go into the housing plan. So Dangote Cement is definitely a name that you have to have on your list, right? As far as stocks to invest in. And then with the amount of borrowing that the federal government has to do, that's going to have an implication on bonds, right? Federal government bonds, which are IOUs. You can invest in bonds. I think you can get what 11-12% for if I'm not mistaken a 20 year or so. No, that's T-bills. A T-bill right now is doing 5-6%. It's not even. Yeah, so you probably want to look at some higher performing stocks in the agri space as well, Presco, Okomu. So there's a handful of stocks on the exchange that you can look at. However, somebody shared some data with me with respect to how the stock market has performed in election years. I think 2015, 2019, the market was down, but then it bounced back in the following year. So last year I think we did barely 6% or so as far as the stock exchange is concerned. So those are what you have to look at in terms of where you can put your money. And of course, foreign exchange, you definitely have to hold some of that.
I mean, it might be scarce this year. I keep saying next year, this year. So
Well, no, so what you got to do is if you are just as you get money, you just buy a little bit here and there. That's what you have to do, in terms of how to prepare yourself. That's how it is, because you have to think of where inflation is. You have to think of what inflation does to you. Okay, here it is. Let me take a look at this here. So this is the NGX All Share Index, how it's performed. So 2014 it was down 16%. 2015, an election year, was down 17%. 2016 we had a recession, it was down 6%. So 3 years in a row the All Share Index was down. However, 2017, the All-Share Index returned 42.3% in
Mm-hmm.
2017. 2018, it was down 17%. 2019, another election year, was down 14%. Then 2020, All-Share Index was the best performing index in the whole world. It returned 50%. Then 2021, it was up 6%, excuse me. So this year is another election year. So going by 2015, it was down. Going by 2019, another election year was down. 2022 is not election year. 2023 is the next election year. So who knows? Maybe the market will be up. But there's as I've
Let's
said,
hope it goes up.
handful of stocks you can look at. So
A few messages here before we wrap up the side of the show. This one from Ogene Uchuku. He says the chief economic advisor that was the head of an economic team yet look at the performance of the economy. It shows that this administration doesn't listen to advisors or don't listen to advisors.
please get your PVC.
Any-
That's
Might as well say.
Oganachuku. You said it all right there.
This one says on Professor Dwayne Salami's recent appointment, let us ask ourselves, since his previous appointment as chairman of the Economic Advisory Council in Nigeria, what has the impact been on our domestic economy? How many times has that council given a public address on their recommendation and implementation
Thank you.
of policies?
Thank you. I don't need to say anything else. I mean, that's it. That's those are the yeah. Those that
Yinka comes in to say, I thought I was the only one thinking about the Salami guy appointment. Have you seen his job description? Who advises the president, for God's sake? Part of this guy's job description includes job creation. Really? What exactly is the role of the finance minister?
you see.
And
See?
then he asks another question. He says, how much of FX should one have in their
In
DOM
his
accounts? You know, at least if we want to. I don't
Yinka
know,
as
I
much
don't
as
know
you
about
can. Yinka as much as you can. Just put as much in there.
that. Dakwalao says,
Leave worry alone. He's found his Superman in doing salami.
this one from Big Akam says, how can we galvanize enough of our young people to come out to vote in 2023?
Look, I mean, boy, look, just
It's a food for thought.
look. Everybody, just do what you can.
And finally,
Do
this
what
one
you
says,
can.
please, what is the yellow company's last dividend payment?
Ooh, I can't remember what that is, but that you definitely want to invest in them. So they are a consistent dividend paying company. That's telecommunications. So telecommunications is definitely another sector that you folks want to look at as far as investing. So you've got Dangote Cement, you've got the MTNs, the Airtels, GTCO, Zenith, UBA. Presco, Como, that's in agric. So Seplat in oil and gas. So those are the names to look out for to see how they perform, and they're all dividend paying stocks. So hey, everybody, look after your own, and let's let's see how things work out with our dear country.
All right. Thank you so much, Rodas.
Thank
Always a pleasure having you here. I mean, it's good to see you.
Yeah, in the
physically,
flesh.
In the flesh. Lagos, there's more to come. Keep in touch with us here at the Smooth Station in a few more minutes. 7:30 comes freshly pressed 981. Okay.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Is that gonna,
This is our new. Is that still live?
that's nice to meet you. So I think you're trying to
Andy.
upload that or something, right?
Yes.
Because it was recording.